Sister Silverine, Ambassador Extraordinaire of PAIN, Parental Alienation Awareness International Network, and we are talking about From Pain to Healing, where we're going to have a series of talks on Sundays from 5:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sankhya TV. Thank you.
So, Sister Silverine, welcome once again to the program.
Thank you.
Now, in a previous episode, we spoke about criminality, where you were talking about you noticed a lot of crime, the situation of the child growing up in the household, and sometimes abusive situations, or the environment immediately outside the household, being one that encourages criminality, a criminal mindset. You also mentioned that you visit the prisons and you have conversations with the prisoners and give them guidance, sometimes give them meditation. So, well, firstly, tell us about prison, your experiences in prison.
Very nice. Thank you, Omkar. Yes, I have been invited on many occasions to go and give talks in prisons, maximum prisons, remand, mostly. And going there and meeting with these people who we call criminals, if you really have a direct contact with these people, you would realize that in a deep sense they do not have a criminal mindset, the majority of them. The majority of them who I had conversations with, either by mistake, simply getting angry and committing an error by mistake, make them go to jail. Sometimes we find very respectable people.
And by mistake, you mean something that is a crime, it is a criminal.
It is considered a crime.
Yeah.
Yes. For example, if someone just have to defend their family, and in that defense, they killed someone, that person end up in jail. Because he was told that he should not take the law in his own hands. But here he has taken the law in his own hands, between commas, but that is considered a crime because you protected your family. So there are many who are not really criminal minded. I'm not saying all. There are those who for little offenses end up there. And of course, after you perform the act, now it's difficult you cannot repeat that act that you had performed. So because you cannot repair that, you cannot heal that, it is done. When the act is performed, it's done. Here comes the result, the consequences of that act. But if we want to prevent ourselves or avoid finding ourselves in such situations where it will take me to prisons to spend holidays, as we say, then I have to be so aware of my every action. Why? A thought leads to an action. One thought leads to an action. And sometimes we say spontaneous actions makes us perform these acts or these errors, a spontaneous act. For example, you're seeing someone just going to hit another person and you decide, let me go inside, let me save her. But you end up doing something which you should not do. You did not premeditate, you did not think about it before, but simply trying to help someone. Here you find yourself in a situation where you cannot get out now, but you have to face the consequences. So, where did it begin? Where this spontaneous act started? where I now have myself in this situation that I cannot get out of. So everything begins in the mind. And what happens is that when we meditate and we start becoming calm internally, we are able to have control over our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings. Then when you are faced with these situations, you will have that calm and stable mindset that will help me to think before I act. And so I will not spontaneously perform an act that has a negative consequence. So what happens in meditation is I am preparing myself not only for these situations, but on a daily basis we need a calm mindset. We need to be at peace with ourselves in order to be at peace with others, so that not even in thought, not even in word, not even in action, not even by mistake, I'm going to perform a negative act. Because many times we say things also, and then we say, no, I didn't mean to say it like that. I did not mean to say this. Or I did not mean to do this. So you were not prepared in such a sense that I did not mean to do it, but I did it. So preparation means when I meditate and I pay attention to my thoughts, my words, my actions on a daily basis, and I understand that if I perform or if I say things that I should not say, then what will be the consequences of that? So in meditation, what starts happening is I am becoming more aware of my thoughts and the effect these thoughts are having on my mind, my feelings, my emotions, as well as my body. So the first step is being aware. Awareness of my thoughts, awareness of my words, awareness of what I am thinking and feeling. And when I am aware of my thoughts, and I'm aware of the effect my thoughts are having on myself, my feelings, my emotions, and my actions, only then I can change those feelings, those thoughts, those emotions which is not necessary or which can create some negative effect, a negative impact, or have a negative result. So when I am aware, this awareness brings such an understanding in me where I understand and I know that what could be the consequences of these actions and even these thoughts. So the first thing is thought. Everything stems from a single thought. And from the thought comes the words, and after the words comes an action. So these spontaneous errors that we perform without thinking twice could be avoided when there is more spiritual awareness, where I am more aware of what I am thinking and the consequences of these thoughts.
How much should a person meditate in order to, let's say, someone who is not looking for self-realization or some form of transcendental state, but someone like you are recommending in order to not make hasty decisions, to not make, let's say, dangerous decisions or reactions? How much meditation should a person engage in?
Meditation doesn't have a limit, but at least half an hour meditation on a daily basis. If not an hour, at least half an hour in the morning, where you can prepare yourself for the rest of the day. That should be enough.
Is it something that you can, like you say, half an hour? And a lot of people will say, well, they are busy in the morning, especially because they have to rush to school and rush to work. But is it something that you can do, if not half an hour in the morning, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at lunch?
Of course. Yes.
Like, because what I'm thinking is, if you do half an hour, you are looking at, then you are good for the day. But What about meditating in small amounts throughout the day?
That also works. Whenever or however you find the time, whenever you can do it, it's fine. But you should do it. It is very necessary. Not only important, it is necessary for every individual. But do you know that we are constantly meditating? But is on what are we meditating? Because let's say you're sitting here and suddenly you remember your house and your family. Then because your attention went there, your thoughts went there, your energy went there, your imagination went there, everything of yours went there. So you are connected to that place at that time. And so wherever you are connected to, your mind is connected, wherever your thoughts, your attention goes, you are meditating on that. So people are constantly either meditating on their workplace, family, either shopping, either health, fitness. There are so many things they are meditating on, what it is I have to do. And once your mind is on that, you are meditating on that. Some think about your children going into school. What is my child doing? And so meditation simply means directing your thoughts. The process of meditation is I direct my thoughts where I want them to be. So the true concept of meditation is when I know how to disconnect my attention from everything external and learn to think about myself. And in thinking about myself, it means that now my attention, my energy, my thoughts, everything is going within me, inside of me. And once my attention and my thoughts go inside, it means my own energy is going back within me. And that is the energy that I use to start recharging myself. And that's the first step in meditation. Disconnecting from the outside world.
So would that be enough, let's say, for a person to be relaxed, to make right decisions?
Right. So once you learn to go within, keep your thoughts inside, then you start looking at yourself then. And in that you can create for yourself like a self-dialogue where I learn to converse with myself. I learn to talk to myself. And in that conversation, self-conversation or self-dialogue, I am actually looking at myself internally. And I'm going to ask myself, for example, how am I internally? Am I at peace with myself? Am I happy with myself? And if I am not at peace with myself, then who or what am I allowing to disturb my peace of mind? If I am not happy with myself, then who or what am I allowing to destroy my happiness? And so these are self-conversations. And this is what helps me to become more and more aware of what am I allowing to enter in my mind. Who or what? And then when someone enter means I allow, let's say, a situation or action of someone to disturb me. And I keep that disturbance and I keep the effect of that on my mind. It's like I'm allowing that person to take a space in my mind. And that space is being disturbed constantly because I'm only thinking about that situation or that person. It's like allowing a bird to make nests inside of you. So the bird comes, starts making his nest, then he lays eggs in the nest, and then he produces, and now he has more than one. And then as time goes by, it keeps on multiplying. So one little situation, if we allow to go within us, and we mind that inside of us, means I'm constantly thinking about it. It can never leave my mind. And we say, I could never forget what that one said about me. Or I could never forget what that one did to me. So what I do? I keep that one in my mind. And I keep thinking about it over and over and over again. And I am hurting myself. I am in pain, emotional pain. I am so disturbed. I am tormented in such a way that I am suffering myself. And that one did what he had to do and he went his way. And here I am suffering. And the days turn to weeks and weeks turn to months and months turn to years. And these two people are sworn enemies. But who is your greatest enemy? Is it that one or is it yourself? For example, let's say you are angry with someone and that one is not in front of you. But here you are angry and you are eating up yourself in anger. Who is suffering? Not that individual. You are suffering. So who is giving you pain? You are causing or creating your own hurts and pains, not another individual. Because someone may act in a contrary way to you. Someone may tell you things that is hurtful. But if you don't take it and mind it inside, allow it to make a nest inside, and then torment your mind for the rest of your life, then who is wrong? Who is hurting you? Who is causing you pain? Not another person, but me. And these are the things that leads to criminal activities. Someone tells someone, an angry person who is already angry, something harsh or bitter. And what happens to him? He was already angry. And here someone come and tell him something else to make him more angry. Then what happens to him? This is what leads to criminal activities and crime. So it goes a long way. It's not only external. Now this person was already suffering inside. Maybe from anger. Maybe from his own egos. Maybe from, who knows, greed. There are so many things people are suffering from. And greed and ego and anger are some of the main, let us call it emotional or negative emotional activities that leads to a lot of crime or criminal activities. And so in the end, it all comes from a single thought. So you have to learn to look at your thoughts. Look at what your thoughts are doing to you. Look at what effect your thoughts are having on you, internally as well as externally. And only then you will be able to make corrections, make changes in your life.
You use a lot of words that leans itself to my next question, which is that the person who is already angry, they are pushed a little bit further. Those are the ones that are more prone to commit a crime.
Yes.
We spoke about the people who would be in prison or jail because they made a split-second bad decision. But let's talk about the people who are, let's say, the hardened or the professional criminals who they live a life of crime. Firstly, from your experience in dealing with people in prison, what kind of people are they? Are they angry people? How are they?
On the contrary, I have been to so many different sessions and different prisons also here in Trinidad. And all of them who I met were really, like, you consider truly loving people. Because when I go, I know for myself, they love when they hear Sister Silverine coming to the prisons. Everyone will come to class. Everyone comes to my sessions when I go. And they will call me sister, and we are very close, just as we are sitting, both of us. Very close. And no one has never tried to hurt me in any way. And they will call me sister, and they were really beautiful. And it's like I make them feel as though they are not criminals. I make them feel as though they are my brothers. And I would tell them, you all are my brothers. If we are all children of one father, we are all brothers and sisters. I make them feel comfortable. Why? Because I understand that they may have or would have been going through a lot of emotional torments inside. And this is what lead them to do these things. But now, being inside there, they need to heal now. And so to heal, firstly, they need people to accept them. They need people to understand what was happening with them or in them, both. Because all these persons who are there would have gone through some kind of, let's call it emotional traumas, mental torments, even physical abuse, some part in their life. And this is what had led them to this stage. So my interaction with them, my relationship with them was more like a brother-sister relationship. And I could have feel that many of them who are in there, they are there not because they are real criminals, but because they have made a mistake. And of course, they atone to their mistakes, which means they realize it was not right, they make a wrong decision. But it is not that they will constantly make a wrong decision. Once they have made a wrong decision, and that one time they make a wrong decision, it leads them to that point. But yes, there are those who constantly make that wrong decision. And yes, of course, they need to be taught that this is not the way. And some will not only learn through words, but those who make those constant wrong decisions, they have to understand, and we also have to understand that these individuals are really going through some, let's call it hard times, but hard times mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. It clearly shows that these individuals have been brought up in homes or communities where, one, they were not accepted as they would like to. Maybe they were not given the love and appreciation or the value that they need to grow up to be decent and respectable individuals. So there is a lot of, let's call it, values lacking in these individuals. Because I understand very well that love heals. And if a child from even a small age does not get the love and even the attention that he or she needs, these children grow up to be children who are always in need, always seeking attention, always seeking approval, always seeking acceptance. And when they don't get what they need, then they start searching for it elsewhere. And then they go and they fall in these areas and these companies that did not guide them in the right direction. And this is how they have been led to commit crimes.
Now you mentioned that some of these individuals, they constantly make the wrong decision, and you explained that they sometimes have a lot of things that are going on within them.
Yeah.
And you say some of them, they would not learn by mere words. How can we reach someone like that who, because of their mental state or their temperament or their environment, that words alone do not encourage them to be better?
Very good.
How do you reach that person?
Very good. It's like a father telling the child, don't smoke. This young son, don't smoke, but he himself is smoking. So I cannot teach someone what I myself don't have. For example, if I'm trying to tell you to be peaceful, stay quiet, don't make noise. But I myself, I am not at peace with myself. What am I teaching you? So if I am at peace, for example, only then my thoughts, my words, my actions will be peaceful. And so whoever listened to me, my words will have effect on them. So I have to be such an example that someone who is really going through a lot of mental and emotional torment, traumas, they will want to listen to me because I am able to give them what they really need. So it's not only words I'm giving, but my life should be the example for these people. Because the words that is coming out of my lips should be peaceful. It should be loving. It should be words that will help heal this individual who is sitting in front of me. So it's not only words, there's an energy that goes with these words also. And it could be a soothing energy. It could be a healing energy. Because together with my words, there's also acceptance. So there are different steps which I need to take in order for this individual to will want to listen to me and will want to change also. Because I'm not only giving or speaking words, but I am sending such healing vibrations to this one also. Loving vibrations, peaceful vibrations. So it will have that positive impact on the mind of that person, that individual. So it's not only words alone, but words accompanied with positive vibrations, with loving vibrations, with peaceful vibrations. And that vibrations, positive vibrations, is what will start healing the mind of that individual.
What role would you say, or how does the relationships of these criminals, well, we shouldn't say criminals, or I shouldn't say criminals, but these people in prison,
Prisoners.
persons in prison, who, well, we have the ones who have made the mistake, but they are really genuinely not what we consider bad people. But you have the ones that we generally consider to be bad, and that they are criminals and that they are criminal minded. What role have you seen that their relationships play in their life, in them being in prison? Or, for example, that they are now in prison, and have you ever noticed then their relationships with their family? Probably they have children, they have a spouse, or their parents, maybe the people who visit them. Do they have good relationships, or do they have people who support them? Or?
In the majority of cases, yes, they had people who supported them. Of course, a mother, no matter how bad the child is, a mother's love for the child is really genuine and unconditional. Her son could be the biggest criminal, but she will love her son, right? Because that is hers. And yes, there are other individuals who would have a good relationship with them, and even if it is not their physical family, because let's say the physical family, their own family did not agree to the life that they had taken. Here they have these gang members who are supporting them. So it goes a long way,
Yeah.
If the members of the family does not support them for the company that they had or they were in when they found themselves in that situation. So then you have those who put them in that situation. They are the ones who are there for them. If you understand what I mean.
Understand? The reason I ask is because, well, one of the main goals of this program is to identify the effects on children of, well, the actions of both parents. So I'm wondering what kind of relationships, or how does being in prison affect the child of that person? Or what have you seen to be the effects? Probably
course.
You have met children on the outside, well, outside of prison, whose parents or father is in prison.
I have seen that it has a negative impact on the mind of that child. Because one, let's say that child is going to school, and everyone knows that this father of this child is in prison. So he have his peers, his friends, classmates, telling him that his father is a criminal. or his father is a murderer, or his father is a thief and he is in jail. So he starts getting all these negative feedback from his peers, from his classmates, and even from society. So this starts having a negative impact on this child's mind. And what starts happening to this child's mind? There's a lot of remorse within him. There's a lot of, rejection to the community that is rejecting him, because he himself is rejected.
And then the community, they would shame him. Yeah. There's a certain amount of shame.
Yeah, there is shame, there is rejection on his part. He feels rejected from the community because he cannot feel accepted as a normal child, but a child that was or is a product of a criminal. And this is very, very harsh and hard on the mind of a young child. To be told that his parent, whether mother or father, is a criminal, starts affecting him in such a way that he starts thinking in the same level, that same way as his father. Because once you are rejected from society, you have nowhere to go, If society does not accept you as you want to be accepted, what starts happening in your mind? You also think about doing the wrong thing. You don't think about doing the right thing. And so when you start thinking about doing the wrong things also, then you start creating that name for yourself. Well, he is a chip of the criminal, so what do you expect? So people will say, that the chips doesn't fall far from the block. People tell you this. So there's a stigma. That child gets that stigma that he is a chip of this criminal element. So what starts happening in his mind? He starts doing similar things. I know there is one famous story where this little boy used to go and steal little things first. And he will steal little things, but his mother will not correct him, will not teach him, not educate him. And he would then start stealing bigger things. And as he starts stealing bigger things, he ends up in jail. When he ended up in jail now, when his mother went to see him in jail, then the judge asked him once, do you have anything to say to your mother? So he said, yes. And he said, I want to tell my mother something. But I must tell her in her ears. So when she put her ears close by, he bit her ears and told her that you never taught me the right thing. You never told me that to steal was not good. You never taught me that what I was doing was not right. And here, this is the result. So yes, parents will see children doing small acts of wrong things, committing small thefts, and they will not teach them until it starts getting bigger and more serious crimes start taking place. And then when they end up in the jail, parents condemn, my child is no good. But how much did you teach your child? How much did you educate your child when you see that he was taking the wrong path? So a lot has to do with the parents also. Every child that come into this world has to be taught how to live. And the parents must not think that others have to teach their child, and it's not the school will educate the child alone in values. But the parents has the biggest role to play in a child's life. And so all these criminal elements that we are seeing in society today, parents has to take the blame. They have to be responsible for their children because they came from a home. Each will have a mother or a father. You cannot be born by yourself. You have a mother and you have a father. And even if you're living with the mother or the father, whichever one, that individual is supposed to educate you. So parents have to take responsibility for what is happening in society. But if you simply ask yourself, what kind of child am I producing for society? See if you want that same kind of children in society. Because you wouldn't want the neighbor child to come and steal from you, right? So why would you allow your child to go and steal from the neighbor? And so it's a repercussion. What you don't like, you should not allow your children to do.
Unfortunately, we are out of time. The half an hour flies so fast when we are getting into the conversation.
Yes.
Once again, I'd like to thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
And, well, of course, we have to continue this topic on another program. And to all the viewers out there, I want to say thank you to Sister Sylvie Mangru for joining me. And join me next time.
Thank you, Omkar.
Join us globally every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Sankhya Television as Parental Alienation Awareness International Network, PAIN, presents Ambassador Extraordinaire, Brahma Kumari's Sister Silverine Mangru with the series From Pain to Healing.
This program is sponsored by Sampex Limited, networking societies for a better future.